the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. We the people as our beat and rhyme. We're dropping old school values every time. Extreme honesty with a fresh twist. Breaking it down, you don't wanna miss. It's freedom talk, loud and proud. Voice of the people, can't be cowed. Every week, we speak our mind. For love of country, it's one of a kind. So grab a seat, let the BRANE Show roll. We're serving up truth, heart and soul. Brian and Shane with that patriot steel. For the people, by the people, of the people, let's go. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall.
This is for America!
Shut the f*** up!
Yep. All right.
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say we can break this army here. It has made us brothers. I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time. You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
Cut out their living guts.
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day. Never surrender.
Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
Tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines. The power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. To make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina. Energy to do our thing, get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Hey!
My name is Brian, that is John. You're watching The BRANE Show. Welcome, everybody.
Good to see you all.
Do me a favor if you're here right now. Hit the like button. Hit the comment button. Hit the chat button. Hit all the buttons you can hit, except for the dislike button. And if you're not a subscriber, do us a favor and become a subscriber today. After the show, we're going to be doing an hour-long members section. If you want to become a member, it's pretty simple. Hit the join button bottom left of the video. And I want to appreciate everyone that's coming from Salty Nerd, the Salty Saturday show. welcome. I want to appreciate John. John, thank you for pitch hitting on the Salty Saturday show, and then also doing this show, 6 hours of streaming. Let's go.
Oh, I rock, man. I rock. The adrenaline's going. Look at that shaking. Look at the hands. Look at them go. Can I just say, mate?
Yeah.
If there is going to be a potential alien invasion, what we want to do before we go to fight, we want to play that BRANE Show intro before we go into battle. All of it, right? Come on, then. Come on
then. Yeah, so what are we talking about? We are talking about some interesting stuff today. We are talking about a possible alien invasion and Project Bluebeam, which I just went down that rabbit hole. What a wild rabbit hole to go down. Peacemaker season finale and the fact that Peacemaker was effectively canceled. And what does that mean? Uh-oh. Oh, no. The Portland protests / riots and ICE agents and tariffs and all that, the government shutdown, all that stuff. And, of course, we got some UK news in there. The digital ID stuff. And I forgot, the Portland protests, also the pastor, quote-unquote pastor, that was hilariously hit in the head with a pepper spray bullet or whatever. He's fine, by the way. He had itchy eyes. A lot of cool stuff. And we're going to be talking to you guys in the chat, as per usual. The thing is this, you might be noticing that Shane's in here right now. Well, this is the last day Shane's going to miss for a while because this is the last soccer day for his kid. He's got to go and support his child. And, we'll check that out, Funny and Dark. I will show your video. I want you guys to know, though, this is the last day for a while that Shane's going to miss. So we're going to be doing 3 up next, going forward for a while. And he did have some things to say about the government shutdown. And he did have some stuff to say about tariffs. And I'm going to read his comments to you. So he's not entirely not here. He'll be here in spirit. And his opinion will definitely be present on the show. Sean, how you doing today, bro?
I am doing very well, my friend. Well, I'm stoked. That was good fun on the Salty Nerd, and I'm ready to rock and roll on the BRANE Show today. Let's go, mate.
Yeah, well, before we get into it, I do want to show Funny and Dark's video real quick, or at least a portion of it. Funny and Dark used SORA to make a SG-1 style, I guess, series called Portal. I thought it was very interesting, so let's check it out real quick.
Open now!
In a desert lost to time, a portal awakens, unleashing Earth's boldest explorers. Colonel Hank O'Neill, Major Chelsea Carter, Dr. Jaden Ryan, and Groot. They're Earth's portal explorers, facing the unknown.
Carter, get that portal open now!
O'Neill, report!
What the hell happened out there?
Just another day at the office, General, except the locals tried to eat us for lunch.
You're taking me, fellas. 5-star resort?
Silence, Pinkskin.
Your group's people? Got the same Smurf vibe.
Where are you taking me? You groups people or what? Great, alien jail and a fire hazard.
What are you, Pinkskin?
Pinkskin.
Okay, and so I'll put the link of this in the description. You guys check it out. You know what's funny with AI? We might get a Stargate revival before Amazon finally pulls the trigger.
Yeah. And it'll be that good. And then they'll just go, right, no, we're pulling that. You're not allowed to show that anymore.
Right, we're not doing that.
Then they'll do that.
Well, it's not then called Stargate.
Star Trek Discovery version.
It's called Portals. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump right into it. Thank you for that Funny and Dark. I appreciate it, my dude. So let's, I want to jump into the Peacemaker stuff here first. I'm not sure if you guys watched it. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, Peacemaker, I'm not watching that. It's too adult for me. And that's cool. But I did want to touch on it because a lot of people were disappointed in the season finale. And they think that James Gunn's comments about no plans at this moment to do a season 3 might be related to the reception of the season finale. But he actually made those comments before the season finale came out. So that's number one. Before the reception to this season came out, he had already made that decision. And if you watch this episode and you get to the very end, you might realize why. And in my opinion, and this, in no way do I have any foreknowledge of this, but my opinion is they are going to be doing a Checkmate series. And so at the end of the series, spoiler alert, They set up their own agency, and it's called Checkmate, right? That's the wrong.
Yeah.
It's called Checkmate, right? Well, I don't think there's going to be a series 3, a season 3, because the season 3 will actually be a Checkmate season. That's what I think. It's going to be season 1 a Checkmate. But they did leave Chris, aka Peacemaker, on a planet, like on Salvation. That's the name of the planet, Salvation. So I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing with the franchise. If you look at the comic run, the Salvation's run, and you look at the Checkmate series, obviously they're doing something different than what the comics did, which is fine. Salvation, I believe they're supposed to be utilizing, or they're selling it as a place that they can send all the dangerous metas to. Notice, though, that Flag is working with Lex Luthor, which is not a good look for him, which means that Lex Luthor probably wants this planet so he can throw Superman.
Superman, yeah.
He can get rid of Superman, but you can't beat him, so let's just throw him into the Salvation. And this might play into the Green Lantern stuff, because that's a cosmic show. Maybe these are planets that I'm not sure if they're dimensions or what. Maybe the Green Lantern have some kind of connection to them. Who knows? But it's building up a really cool story, in my opinion. And the people that were disappointed by it, I'm not sure if they're disappointed because it didn't have the cameos they wanted, or if it didn't end with like a super satisfying conclusion, like there wasn't a big bad they can fight and kill, whatever. This is the problem when you have 8 episodes to tell a story. On television, you need longer than 8 episodes. You need longer than 8 episodes to get the audience interested in the drama and the chemistry and the development of the characters, to develop a story, to slow burn stakes, and to really get into the journey that the characters are taking. Nowadays, we live in a TV world where everything's 8 to 10 episodes, and I don't think that's long enough to really tell the right story. That said, I enjoyed this season. There was a couple flat moments. There was a couple episodes that felt like we could have used more in that episode. But overall, I had a good time this season of Peacemaker, and I'm excited to see what they do with Checkmate and the story going forward. But that is correct. James Gunn did say that there are no plans for a season 3 of Peacemaker. And I believe that's because it's not Peacemaker season 3. It's Checkmate season 1 or whatever. Waller season 1 or whatever. I think it's the story is being told in other shows that are planned.
I agree with you. I think you're 100% spot on that. I think, you start at the beginning of the season, and I forget her name again, but she was wanting to start her own agency, so that was right at the beginning of this season 2. Mm-hmm. And then at the end you have the scene, what was it, about 5-6 minute scene with music of them setting up the new office. That's all set, that's all deliberate setting up and setting the scene for the new season when it comes of that show. You're right. Peacemaker, it will technically carry on, but it just won't be the Peacemaker show.
Yeah, and this I like this shot of them walking out.
Yeah,
it's cool, and they're using the intro music, which, by the way, the intro music really grew on me, dude. I thought originally I was like, not a fan of
season 1.
Yeah, I like season 1 more, but then this song really grew on me. Like the intro music grew on me, and it's perfect for what the season's dealing with. It's interesting how like everything that they've done has had like a purpose or a connection. Even the song, the dances. Notice this is funny. They had the Peacemaker character in Fortnite, and one of his possible emoticons you can buy was him doing the dance that's in the intro. And then when they reveal the Earth X, that the dance is Nazi dance.
Nazi.
Fortnite freaked out and they pulled it, right? Well, you know what's funny is that made for a very rare dance emoji, whatever they're called, emoticon. It's a really rare because they didn't pull it from people that bought it. They just pulled it off the store. So there's a few people that still have the Nazi dance,
the Nazi salute, dance.
And I tell you, one of my oldest kid has it. I bought her the Peacemaker thing immediately. So Fortnite freaked out when they saw the Earth X episode and they pulled it real quickly.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that was just a good example of them telling you in the very first intro what the plot was with the dance. Like they immediately they were hinting at what was happening. And when you listen to the song, it comes full circle at the very last episode where the song actually completely tells the story. Very interesting. I had a really great time with this series. I know it's adult, I actually made edited versions of Peacemaker for my kids and I to watch because I don't want them watching, penises. And
I was going to say, I wonder which bit you cut out, mate.
I cut out all the nudity and all the cursing. I don't care.
I've been a bit worried if you just kept the nudity in and cut everything else.
Yeah, everything. We watched Spartacus, but only the parts where everyone's nude. I left all the violence in because I don't have a problem with violence. But this is the scene where it shows the Checkmate logo on the door.
Okay.
And there it is, the top. Let me see if I can get it. There it is. Checkmate. There it is. And that's straight from the comics. That's a series where it's almost like an organization similar to Argus or S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever. They're usually more antagonist in the comics, but perhaps they're flipping the script and they're going to be the more protagonist. I don't know, but it's cool. I'm here for it. I like that Flurry joined the team. I like that their team consists of the cyborg chick and Mr. Bird blindness and the 4-foot tall judo master. It's cool. It's a cool. I like they expanded their team, started a new organization. People are like, they didn't really conclude anything. There was no real satisfying conclusion. There was no growth. I'm like, what are you talking about? The characters grew exponentially. Chris finally found the family he's looking for. He finally, by happenstance, killed every connection to his old family when his father died, and now his brother is stuck on Earth X. They started Checkmate. They grew their little crazy 11th Street kid family. Like, a lot of things happened this season. I think what people are mad about is they didn't get the cameos they wanted, and that's cool. I can understand that. And they also have a problem that there wasn't like a normal sort of standard run-of-the-mill big bad for them to fight and win against.
Fight scene, yeah.
This is sort of like an in-between. It feels like an in-between season, an Empire Strikes Back, if you will. Because this is leading to something else. This is leading to Checkmate. I think we're going to get an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version show in Checkmate. That's what I think we're going to get. And you have the doors. So you have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show where they can actually go through portals, and it's gonna be a super rad show, I think.
Can I just say, one of my favorite bits there, the episode, is Tim Meadows, where he's got the little gremlin on his face mask is covering, and it's literally just bonking his face, his helmet.
Oh, right,
yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. I think for me, the one thing that I would say that probably throughout the season is grated on me a bit has been Harcourt. I think, the whole, but I get what they've done. Effectively, they've this is someone that's got issues, and then towards the end, it's about her recovering from those issues and healing to an extent, and finding her own family as well, because it's as much about her family as it is for Chris. So I get what they're doing. It's just, I think it was all there was so much of the beating up biker gangs, ultra tough, badass woman, all of that. I think that could have been toned down a bit, but
it also showed that Peacemaker stopped her. So Peacemaker, the big strong man, is what sort of
he calmed the situation,
helped heal her, and sorry to say, feminists, tame her to a degree. Like literally, that's not, guys, that's not girl boss feminist. That is pretty standard traditional relationship stuff. I don't see a problem with that. You have a standard, You have
we're having a great night. Here's the stars. Yeah, you know,
right, a pretty traditional relationship. You have two broken people that help each other heal. I know it's a little more metaphysical than a lot of people are used to watching, a little more dramatic than people are used to watching. It's definitely not season 1 where there's butterflies trying to take over the planet. There's no huge stakes here. Someone said in the chat, the big bad is Rick Flag. Yes, the big bad's Rick Flag. That's and them trying to get over their issues. And it might not be for everyone, but I do believe that it's a very good start. Almost like an origin story for Checkmate. And Checkmate can be a really clever series if done correctly.
Yeah. I mean, Rick Flag, senior, the one thing I thought about this, and maybe that'll play out going down the road, is the fact that he's pissed at Chris, but Chris was following orders from Waller.
Right.
And yet he's now working for Argus. The same organization.
He actually did that on purpose.
The orders for,
He worked his way up to that position so he can get to Chris. He's very one-sided. It shows that Rick Flag is not a big thinker, bro. He's a soldier, and he's not seeing the whole picture. Yeah, he's not seeing the whole picture. And to be fair, I think the character was probably better in Creature Commandos, where he had more layers to him, but there is definitely criticisms you can have for this series. In this episode, there's a whole 6 minutes where she's at a BIOS. Ads is trying to reconnect with her lesbian wife. And the best thing about the first episode of this was them completely doing away with that relationship. So when she was reconnecting with her and trying to fix it, I'm like, stop. No one liked that about season 1. No, everyone was very happy when we abandoned that horrible, stupid, waste of time relationship. Let's just move on from that. Ads doesn't have to be in a relationship. So that's a criticism for sure. That it just takes away. It doesn't move the story forward whatsoever. It doesn't even add character development. It's a filler stuff. Yeah. So yeah, man. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, I still share your views on it though, and we've talked about this before in private as well, about the fact these days shows just aren't long enough. So by the time you're in the zone with it, it's over. Mm-hmm. And I really wish, as a minimum, you're talking, it's a 13 episode season as a minimum. Yeah. That's what it should be. I mean, 8 episodes for me, it's I just need more. I'm greedy. I want more.
Yeah, bro.
I was brought up on 26 episodes a season.
Right. We're over here watching Supernatural. It's 22 episodes. I think it's 20 episodes or whatever a season. 14 seasons or something crazy.
Yeah, 15. Yeah,
15 seasons. And we're on. I started season 10 with my kids, and I'm like, oh my god, I still have 5 times 20 episodes of content. Now, I hate this new TV thing where it's hey, here's your 8 episodes, 8 episodes every 2 or 3 years, guys. I don't get it.
You imagine that Supernatural series if it was a 6 to 8 episode season.
It wouldn't be.
It would still be going now.
Yeah. Oh man, I think it would have been canceled. I think with that little, you don't even have time to fall in love with the characters when you only have six episodes. You don't have time to really fully flesh out their issues, their desires, their character. You don't have time to develop it. You don't have time to develop and the side characters. If you watch Supernatural, Charlie's a super cool character. Bobby's a super cool character. The Winchester, the Wayward Sisters, Jody and the heavyset chick. I'm always forgetting her name.
I know you mean.
They're cool characters. Now, what if we only ever saw Jody that one time? Right? A super tragic story about a character whose son was brought back from the dead, but he was a zombie thing, and she ate and it killed her whole family. And that would have been tragic, but it would have been nothing else for us to latch onto, right? In 8 episodes, you don't have time to tell her story.
Well, I think you're right. And if you use the example of Supernatural, and again, you can use it for Stargate as well, and we've talked about it on the watch parties, mate. When you have a longer season, it enables you to do what I call the season arc stories, and it allows you to do the contained standalone episodes.
Right. Each
so
episode
like
has
Supernatural, the ghost story or something like that,
Right, well,
that isn't linked to the overall arc.
Each episode has a beginning and an end, but underneath all that is an underlying story arc. You can do that when you have 20 episodes. You can't do that with 8.
No, and I think, you know, for me, I would rather that, you know, the DCU that James Gunn just goes, okay, well, we're not going to do that series. We're actually going to extend this new series, you know, and just build it stronger. But we're not going to get that, are we? We're going to get 8 max.
Well, I think what's going to happen
2 years apart.
No, this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to get a pseudo version of what we want. So the studio says 8 episodes max, right? So he goes, well, here's 2 seasons of Peacemaker, 8 episodes a pop. And then here's 2 seasons of Checkmate, 8 episodes a pop. Here's 2 seasons of Water, 8 episodes a pop. Here's 2 seasons of Salvation, 8 episodes a pop. And if you watch them all entirely, it's all one long show anyways. They just have different names in their title, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The cheat system.
Right. Yeah, so like watching Supernatural or Agents or whatever, I long, and I find myself going back and I'm watching old TV and I think to myself, what's new that I want to watch? Dude, nothing. Nothing is new. Like Peacemaker, I look forward to every Thursday, but the fact that it ends it's hard. And someone said there was a show called Countdown. It actually starred Jensen Ackles, who's great. I love Jensen Ackles. I love that guy so much. Well,
cool.
Countdown was tracking on Nielsen every single week, which is rare. It was the top 10 on Amazon Prime every single week, which is rare, and of all their shows. It had great word of mouth, had a huge growing fan base, nothing but good reviews, and they canceled it after 1 season. And you're like, well, why did they cancel it? I can tell you why. They weren't willing to pay the price for the 3 or 4 seasons this was going to need with the huge cast they had attached to it. And because it wasn't ultra successful, it wasn't like Game of Thrones successful, The Boys successful, even it was just mildly successful, it's not worth it. Now, if this was network television, that would be going on. That would go for 10 seasons straight.
Yeah.
That would still be going on. Jensen Ackles would be 57 playing the same character. Because you don't need to be, once in a generation famous like The Boys or The Expanse or Game of Thrones. You don't need to have this like insane zeitgeist moment to be profitable on streaming. You just have to be good enough to keep people watching. Network television is about selling ads. It's not about changing the social fabric. And now every show is like, well, we're going to throw everything out. We're going to throw everything against the wall and hope that people respond to something that we can latch on to for 5 seasons.
100%. It's a sausage factory now. It's literally, I always say about the Disney Plus streaming model is I'm not sure they overly care too much about quality anymore. It's just get it on the platform. We need something to fill the slot on Disney Plus in this particular place. Whether people watch it or not, they might watch it a few times and the ads are clicked into. That's it, done. Then we move on to the next thing. It's sausage factory stuff. Whereas back in the day, there was more of a craft to make something quality that was going to keep people around.
Because it was sold by ads. So the whole point was we're not trying to make a product that people are willing to come watch and pay a monthly subscription for. A product people are willing to watch every week so that we can put ads in our broadcast, and that's how we made money. When we went to the streaming service, they're not selling ads. They don't need you to watch every week. They just need you to subscribe every time there's something new. So there's more value in something that's new versus something that's proven. Countdown was legitimately a successful show. It had great numbers, great reviews. It tracked on Nielsen. It tracked on top 10 charts. There's no possible reason that should have been canceled. If that was on network television, it would have been very successful. But And again, it's an ensemble show. You don't have time to actually fall in love with 6 characters. You don't.
Yeah.
But you know what? Had it gone
you don't.
5 seasons, you would have. But this is the new thing. They want to get new stuff on the platform to keep subscribers subscribed and new subscribers coming in. And it's a bad system. This is really going. I'm not sure when this is going to end, but it's not going well for them. And I don't see it being the way we do things in 5 years, 6 years.
Well, I think the way it ends and the way it's kind of trending at the moment is the fact that people are getting wise to it. You know, you've only got to see, you know, when, again, Disney, when they do their quarterly reports and their streaming numbers are dropping, their subscriptions, and it's because people are starting to see that now. They're like, well, hang on a minute, it's costing me X a month, or I'm paying an annual package for it. What am I watching on it? What's my family watching on it? Is there anything decent? So they go, well, no, I'll cut it now. I might as well go back to it if something decent pops up.
Right.
But the trouble is, not much decent is popping up. And I'm
you
like,
can waterfall them though. Like, oh, this Stranger Things season 5 is coming out. Cool. I'll sign up when all the episodes are there.
Exactly.
I'll binge watch it for a month and then disconnect my service until something else comes up.
You know, and we talked about it on Salty, didn't we? Where we were both saying, you know, that it was the first time in ages, probably years for me, where I was looking forward to Peacemaker each week. I actually had a show where I was like, I can't wait to get in from work and watch the latest episode, and it was nice to have that back and to have one episode per week again. It's that, you know, you can talk to people over around the water cooler about it.
Dude, the binge watch model is so bad for TV shows. Did you ever watch the revival of Lost in Space on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's actually a really good show. It's like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And it's a great version of Lost in Space. I think it's a cool, even if it didn't have the Lost in Space name attached to it. Let's just say Family in a Ship. Okay?
Yep.
It's a really cool science fiction series that went 3 seasons. It went 3 seasons because it was contracted for 3 seasons, by the way. Had it not been contracted for that, it would have ended by season 1. Well, the worst thing about this, one of our first reviews on our old channel was for Lost in Space. And we reviewed the first 2 episodes. But the problem is, it dropped in season chunks. That video that we reviewed, it had like 40,000 views. And we're like, oh, well, we got to do more, you know? And so let's do 3 and 4.
Yep.
None of them even like hit 300 views after that. Because all the excitement for the show was gone within like 4 days. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Because when you drop an entire season, there's no theory crafting. There's no like water cooler talk. There's no social buzz. No one's posting about it. No one's sharing clips. No one's falling in love with it.
Everyone knows the answers.
Right. Yeah. It needs to be a slow roll. Dropping everything in one drop is so stupid to me. It's a bad business model. And Netflix started it. They're the culprit, dude.
Yeah, they are. And I don't know when they're ever going to learn, to be honest with you. I mean, I suppose they've eased off of a little bit on certain things over the last few years. Generally, Disney, you know, if they dump it in one go, it's because they know it's crap before they even put it out.
Well, someone in the chat said that, I forgot what it was, but said, I didn't even watch Countdown and I love Jensen because it was canceled. Well, that's the biggest problem. Like, I saw a comment on Twitter that says, I don't watch a show until it has at least 2 seasons. Because they don't want to get invested in a show, then it be canceled. And more shows are canceled in the first season than actually get a second season. Someone else said, did you watch High Potential? Yeah, Penny, I love High Potential. I think it's great. But guess what? I only started watching it when I saw it got a second season. I wasn't going to get invested in this because it's an American remake of I think a European show. I don't even know, but it's another country, Sweden or UK. I don't even know. Basically, it's an American version of a foreign show, and those are hit or miss. Like, sometimes they hit, sometimes they really miss. So I waited, even though I like the actress that she's actually married to Rob McKinney. I waited until season 2. Once I saw season 2, I started watching season 1. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't trust it until it gets a second season. That's true. I only watched Countdown with Jensen because it's Jensen.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check it out. It's Jensen Ackles. All right.
I was going to say, mate, as well, Lord Foff put in there that he started watching Knight Rider again. Yeah, good lad. Well done. One thing I wanted to bring up, when we talk about now about, like
French show. Thank you, Haggett. Sorry.
Yeah, like a show's woke or we hate it that they've put this in, right? I did Knight Rider recently and I did A-Team recently. Okay. Knight Rider, there's probably one of the worst episodes in TV history where David Hasselhoff's real life girlfriend is in the episode. And it is literally a musical duet episode all the way through that episode. It's that painful. And then I also watched A-Team, right, where Boy George turns up in it. And that's the episode of the A-Team. So he becomes part of the A-Team. So we let them off in the 80s because we were like, we're getting some decent stuff anyway, so we'll give them this really crap episode.
Well, we talked about it before.
There's so much of it.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Like, remember, when you have 20 episodes in a season, you can have 5 episodes can be garbage, and it won't affect your opinion of the show. Like percentage-wise, all right, cool. 75% of the show is awesome. But then when you only have 8 episodes and 3 episodes suck, all right, well, 40% of the show sucks. Like, that's a big difference, dude. All right, we got a super chat from Funny and Dark. He said, did you watch it? Did you like it? Yes, sir. I'll put the link to it in the description after the stream is done. Thank you for
good
saying
stuff.
that. Mark47, what's up, bro? He says, have you seen the Redneck SG-1 AI music video? They did a version, they did a version for TNG, TOS, Voyager, DS9, Enterprise, and BSG. Yeah, I saw it.
Good.
I gotta say, Catherine's looking real good in that AI video.
Just a tad bit, mate. Yeah, just a bit.
Kenneth the Rogue coming through with the 10 BRANE
Has he
Show
done it again?
memberships. He did it again. The legend, the man, the myth, the legend, super producer, Kenneth motherfucking LaRoque. 10 memberships.
Do you know what's going to happen, mate? In centuries from now, when there's just ruins of cities and dust everywhere, just on the wall etched somewhere, it's going to be Kenneth LaRoque 30 super chats just etched on the wall. That's all that's going to be left from society.
Yeah, if you guys read my book, at the very end of my book, it just says, Kenneth the Rogue, 10 super chats. When eons have passed and nothing is left but stardust, Kenneth the Rogue, 10 super
The
chats.
legend keeps going, yeah. He doesn't know how to die.
Chappie for $5. What's up, Brian, John, and chat? My favorite day of the week is the BRANE Show,
Good to see
Saturday.
ya.
Thank you. And Chappie coined the term Brainiacs, which I love.
I love that. Yeah.
All our viewers are called the Brainiacs. Super rad. You're on Fault member for 21 months. Let's go. Said, how shocking it's been so long. Brian sent me a necklace and now I'm here. Don't click the button. I'm a good boy. What? Yoran, did I send you a necklace?
Is this some sort of late night arrangement that's going on, Brian? That
You're on.
Do I need to do an intervention?
Is this a grinder thing? Let me know. Maybe you want a giveaway from like years and years ago. It might be. You got remind me, dude. I've been on this, guys. We've been on this platform for a long time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of channels. We've been doing this for a long time. You might have won one of the giveaways for the old Mixed Teas channel or something a million years ago. Oh, he's talking about Hassan. Are you talking about the Hassan news where he put the collar on his dog and shocked him? By the way, Hassan is a piece of he's a trash human. Don't watch Hassan.
Scum. He's not trying to imply that you're going to do that to me, like I'm your dog on the show.
Don't make me press the button. I'll press the button.
Yeah. Electrified chair, everybody.
Kenneth the Rogue for $2. Old TV is novel. New TV is short story. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Just like stupid YouTube shorts and TikTok. It's the short attention span, man. People go, oh, all these. You ever notice that people that don't know anything about anything will come at you and be like, I heard that you do YouTube. You know what's really successful? YouTube Shorts. And you're like, oh yeah, you have a channel? No, but I've read about it. I'm like, so I have a lot of channels and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And let me tell you something, bro. That's not correct. I had this conversation literally last night. You ever know someone who's like a know-it-all? They don't know. They don't know. They don't actually do anything, but they seem to know everything about everything. Yeah. And I was talking to this guy, and my kid told him like something about YouTube. And he's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty much a YouTuber. Like, I make content, and I sell merch." Oh, YouTube, that's cool, man. What do you do on there? And I do like long form documentaries and live streams. And he goes, "You know what?" And that's when he told me, "You know what the real money is? YouTube Shorts." And I realized right then the guy doesn't know anything about anything, and he's one of those guys who gets off on showing people that he's smart. You know, like, I want everyone to see how smart I am. So I'm going to inject myself into things that I have no idea about and try to like give people information. And hopefully they take my really my unwarranted, completely unknowledgeable advice. And I'm telling the guy, actually, Shorts are not where it's at. Shorts make no money. They have very little ad revenue. They're pretty much designed for children. And here's the deal. Children grow out of Shorts. You can be an old person that scrolls Shorts, but you're never going to follow those people. You're never going to subscribe to them. You're never going to actually enjoy those creators. Like, that's something you do when you don't have time to watch a real video or a real documentary or a real piece of content. Well, and the guy was like, well, then why is everyone pushing it? Facebook Reels, Instagram, TikTok. I'm like, because they want to trap the young kids into the platform. But that's not where the advertising money is. And I could tell you, as someone who has made 3-hour videos that have millions of views, I'm telling you right now, Shorts are not the way people want to digest content. The studios and the corporations and the algorithms might think people want to ingest content that way, but it's just not true. Now, there is long form content that's in a short package. Like, I'm seeing, like, I actually did a bunch of graphics for this romance series. It's so cheesy. But basically, it's like these vertical 60-second shorts, but they tell like a long form, hour-long story over a period of a week. That's different. You know, you're still telling a longer story. You're just doing it in 60-second chunks, which is fine. You know, but if you look at that, that's not proof that shorts work. That's proof that the long form story works. You're just packaging it as shorts.
Do you know what I struggle with? There's two things this week, right? On similar subject. You know, I decided to go back to the gym this week and work with a personal trainer to try and get back in shape. I had a rep for an insurance company comes up to me and he goes, "Oh yeah, so you're back doing the fitness, are you?" "Oh yeah, well, what works for me is this and that, and if you do that, it'll work for you as well." And I'm thinking, but you're a fat bastard. so I'm sorry, but you know, if you're trying to sell it to me, I mean, you're a sales rep, for crying out loud. You know, that's not working.
Yeah, if you're a sales rep at a gym, you cannot be fat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, guys, like, hey, well, what works for me, what works for you isn't fucking working.
Yeah,
stop. You know, that's what drives me nuts when people go like, "Oh, let me tell you what you should do on social media." Like, bro, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't need advice from people that have never done it. And I'm not saying that they don't have anything interesting to say. Maybe they do, but there are people like there's varying levels of success on social media, YouTube, etc. Right, and content creation. Well, the thing is this. You can have a couple thousand subs and be super successful at what you do because you make a cool product. It just has a niche audience. You can be extremely successful and make sort of garbage stuff, but you're good at marketing. There's varying degrees of creativity and success. But if you don't do anything on YouTube, then you shouldn't have your opinions aren't helpful to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't do anything. You don't have all you do is watch. don't I?
Yeah.
You know, maybe the only thing I want to hear from you is what would you like me to make? Not, you know, you should put SEO keywords in your titles. Like, stop it, please.
What you want to do is you want to inspect the algorithm, and the algorithm will tell you that you need to be doing this
right
at 9 p.m. every single Friday night.
Right? Yeah. Rick Dots says something really, really interesting here. He said, "Where is he at?"
Oh yeah,
I lost it, man. Hold up. Yeah, shorts do nothing for gaining subs. They can get thousands of views and do nothing for monetization. And I think someone's right. I think it's the autoplay feature is what really helps with that. Like, it's just autoplays forever. Rick Thoughts for $10 said, so should studios think about purposely creating 8 to 10 episodes seasons that intend to be one long story that's created to wrap up one season, not continue? Interesting.
Well, I think, and again,
it's like
they're not going to...
the concept of the story arc without any like there needs. I love that. The best TV, John, is when there's a beginning and end inside the episode, right? The episodic style, but with an underlying story arc where you have the best of the episodic content and the sort of longer
standalones, and
You get the best of both worlds. You have a little bit of that. The story is being progressed underneath the layer, and then you have the standalone episodes. And like Stargate, there are some episodes that don't progress the story whatsoever, but they have a great standalone episode, and that's good. And you're pretty happy with those. But the best episodes are the ones that have the standalone story, and underneath that, it's also pushing the story forward in some way. And I don't think you can do that with 8 to 10 episodes.
No, I don't think you can. And when you're talking about the old formula, and I knew how it worked in the US at the time. Remember where you used to have, they would commission a season, but they'd commission 13 episodes. And if the show was doing well in the first few episodes, generally they would go, right, we'll extend you to, several more episodes. I remember that happening years ago. Remember when they did the Constantine series?
Yeah,
and they
Matt?
gave him 13.
What's
with Matt, which I love, Matt Ryan, which I love. But they gave it 13 episodes, and they said, right, okay, effectively the formula setup was, if it does well in the first few episodes early on, let extend that 13 episode season to more. But if it doesn't, they just lock it off at 13. And that's what they did with that. And I don't understand why they don't just go back to that formula. But again, it's what we've talked about before, mate, as well. But it's the quality of the writing, because we were talking last week about Buffy as an example.
Yeah.
You could say now that Buffy was a woke show. You could argue that point. But the difference was Whedon was able to write it, and the writers on that show was able to write stories that engage people. It didn't lecture people.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't in your face. And we're missing that quality of writer now. We really are.
Right. If the story's good,
coming.
You can forgive a lot if the story's good. Like,
a
whole lot. You know what? So I think you're right. Going back to what Rex said here and what you just said. What if we go 8 to 10 episodes, the normal, like what they're doing, but if it's well received and people are spending money on it, go another 8 to 10 episodes. Give us the second part of the season. Part 1. You know what? Netflix sort of did that with a cartoon called Inside Job, where they broke it up into 2 parts. And why not? Why not have season parts? You know what's funny? TV actually did that. There was the mid-season break. That was a pretty common thing, where you would get 10 episodes, and there was like a break in between for like summer or Super Bowl or whatever was going on, and then you got the rest of the series. I don't know why they can't do that instead of like season 1, season 2, 3 years apart. Like, dude, that's too long.
It is crazy, because it's like, with the whole cable and TV setup with series, the streaming companies all went, you know what, we want that on our platform. But then they get it on their platform and they go, but we're going to do it completely differently. Well, stick to what works. I would say that they'd probably be in a much better position now if they stuck to the original formula. because they would have been getting advertising revenue,
Right.
and they would have had a stretched out season that people were probably engaging with. But you're right. Even if someone gets invested, you're probably waiting 2 years before you get a new season now.
Yeah.
You know,
Rex says also it's about actors not wanting to work 16-hour days 9 months out of the year. It sort of does kill their personal life. Yeah, you know what? They get paid millions of dollars for it, you know?
Yeah. I'm selfish. Give me.
I get it, but like, why don't you make, like, you should make, if that's the case, make 20 episodes, and you could break it up into 3 seasons if you want, or whatever, 2 seasons, but release it on a reasonable schedule. Like we talked about on Salty Saturday, Stranger Things is finally finishing its run. Dude, come on, bro. The kids are like, they're adults now. They're not even kids. Are you going to put them in the same costumes? It's been such a long time.
They've all got kids.
They've all got kids. It makes no sense, bro. All I know is that when I spend 90% of my TV time watching old stuff, I'm worried that I'm going to get to the end of that list eventually. And nothing new is really grabbing my attention anymore because it's all so vapid, so short-lived. It's like watching bacteria be born and die. It just doesn't feel like there's any weight to anything anymore, you know?
Well, again, you look at, you know, I slogged through Alien Earth, you know, and that, I swear that almost made me take up Jack Daniels permanently.
That was so unfortunate too. Like it could have been so cool, you know, but like they thought, oh, we need to introduce more different types of aliens. And I'm like, spending all this time on stuff that doesn't matter. Like, jeez.
It's called Alien. Just have a xenomorph for crying out loud.
Yeah,
on
Earth.
Like
the weird eye alien that like, I mean, it's a cool concept, but like, it's no unnecessary, bro.
Yeah.
So much about that show was so unnecessary, and it was shown in a way that's weird. It was hard to follow. Like the timeline was like jumping around. Stop doing that. Stop making it so that we have to pay attention to every moment of every episode. It's almost like it was made to be binge watched, not made to be watched every week. It drives me nuts, bro. It's hard to follow.
But when I tell you about we talk about the quality of the writing. When I watch that Alien Earth and he sits there next to the girl and he basically tells her he's got a low sperm count. That's like me going into a McDonald's, sitting down next to one. Hi, how's your chicken nuggets? I got a low sperm count. You know, have you?
Thank
you. Do you want a chip? Do you want a fry?
You want some fries? I got a low sperm count. Sir, please leave.
It's like, if anything, I would not tell somebody I did not know that, you know.
Right.
Bad.
Oh, man, it's a wild thing. Rick did say that they were paid for it, even if they were only paid $50K per episode. You can make a fortune. So I mean, yes, that's a really good point. Think about this. By the end of Friends, remember the series Friends? Dude, they were making like millions of dollars an episode, each person.
Big Bang Theory was another example. How much they were making.
Massive money. You know what? It's certainly worth my 16-hour days for 9 months when I'm getting paid millions of dollars per episode, and these are 20-episode seasons. I mean, dude, you think that Sheldon ever needs to work another day in his life? If he invests, not even if he just takes his money and puts it in a very low yield savings account, he'll be good forever. His kids will be good forever. I don't know.
I mean, I'll do it. I mean, if they don't want to do it, I'm quite happy to go in and do it for them. I'll do 16-hour days.
Yeah, I'm down.
You know?
Yeah. Beats doing regular work. Hey, Chappie said, I feel like Buffy was unique in that it was one of the first woke shows and wokeness fatigue hadn't set in. It was still fresh. Yes. And the story was good. Yeah. It was definitely woke. By our metric, it was a woke show, but the story was really good. So
100%. And again, they're bringing Buffy back as a miniseries, aren't they, on Disney? And it's not going to work. Why? Because Whedon's not involved with it.
Yeah, so, it's not going to work because
you can't do it without Whedon.
You need a good writer, and their writers are unlisted. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's enough about that. Let's talk about we're gonna sandwich entertainment. We're gonna sandwich the alien news and the Peacemaker news, and we're gonna go with the protest stuff. That way I can read Shane's statement here. So this is what Shane wanted me to address to you guys in regards to the government shutdown. The government shutdown will go into November, making it the longest government shutdown in history. The longest one, back at the end of 2018, lasted 34 days. Trump sees this as an opportunity to cut government waste he still doesn't like, and the Democrats are trying to throw a wrench in his term and have successfully made this Trump's shutdown, even though it's not his shutdown and is 100% on Dems. He also said it will end one of two ways. Chuck Schumer gets enough heat from his constituents that he makes 6 to 8 other Dems, not himself, vote for the CR and end the shutdown. He won't vote for it as he has taken a stand, and AOC will gain power from that move. Or Trump will start to feel the pain and poll numbers for the midterms start to really stack against him. In that case, he will negotiate a $500 million compromise, which the Dems will equally agree to so they can call this a win. Trump's 100% tariffs on China, which crashed the stock market on Friday, will likely also, Monday and Tuesday this week, was the result of China choosing to hoard rare earth minerals. China wants to control the chip market. That's very important to AI. And they currently have the power to attempt that. Xi Jinping is using this as an economic blackmail as a result of TikTok and fentanyl. Trump is calling his bluff. China can't afford to play this game without us, so expect turmoil for a couple weeks, and then everyone will become frenemies again. So if you're investing in the stock market, now's the time to buy. but I am not a financial advisor, so.
No, neither am I.
So speaking of that, I did want to bring this up briefly before we get into the alien stuff.
Yep.
So you guys know about the protests in Portland, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure you do. This was making the rounds. This is a pastor, quote unquote pastor. So he's a professional agitator with and he was ordained by a college somewhere, a liberal arts college. This guy is not a pastor in the spiritual sense. He's a pastor in the legal sense, in that he was ordained by a liberal arts college and he works as a pastor for a liberal church that does not follow anything biblical. They don't have biblical values. They don't have biblical beliefs. This is a fake pretend church with a fake pretend pastor with the paperwork to say so. I want to be clear, because this guy literally goes from protest to protest with the clerical uniform on, like he's cosplaying as a pastor, and he gets in people's faces and he causes trouble. Well, this is what happened recently. And yeah, I'm biased because I hate fake Christians. Either be a Christian or don't. But don't pretend to be one. That's the worst. Don't pretend to be a Christian. Don't do that. Either you are or you aren't. And I don't care either way. I mean, I'd rather you be a Christian or not, but don't pretend. That's a wolf in sheep clothing. Well, that's what happened. This guy was out there, and it's funny how it was filmed perfectly, right? It's almost like they planned it. And he walks up and he starts praying for the ICE agents. And I know a lot of people got really mad when I laughed at this, but I'm sorry. It's sort of funny. Knowing this guy's background and that he was protesting BLM and he smashed his car into an ICE agent. And even before that, he was involved in the Summer of Love protest. And he talked about how abortion is, he's just a bad person. And all of his beliefs are totally anti-biblical. So knowing his character and knowing his past, watching this was actually sort of funny. Here we go. They're shooting him with pepper spray bullets. Boom, right in the head. Remember, these are not actual live rounds. They're like paintball rounds that have pepper spray in them. This is not lethal. The goal of this is to agitate people so that they leave an area, right? Do I think they should be shooting the crowd that's down there? No, they shouldn't be. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
They have the right to protest. And the First Amendment protects that right. And I did want to read the First Amendment for you so I can explain to people that it's funny how all of a sudden all these liberals are very much becoming First Amendment advocates.
Specialists.
Right.
Yeah.
Specialists. They're like, oh, they have the right to protest. Well, that doesn't mean they have the right to throw rocks. That doesn't mean they have the right to break cars. That doesn't mean they have the right to assault police officers. Let me read the full First Amendment. Because, yes, they have the right to protest, 100%. Yeah. I'm going to read it to you. Then I want to explain something that I learned recently. Congress shall make no law respecting or an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free access thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for grievances.
Yeah.
So, the section where it says, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble. I want to tell you guys the definition of the word peaceably. Don't get mad at me. I didn't write this amendment. I didn't write the definition of the word. I didn't make that. I'm just reading you the First Amendment, and I'm giving you the definition of the word peaceably. Peaceably means to act in a calm, non-violent way without disturbance, strife, or anger. Now listen, these people have the right to protest. But I'm going to say it again. They do not have the right to attack police officers, block cars, break personal property or federal property. They do not have the right to disturb the ongoing operations. They're not an army. This isn't a war. You can call it protest all you want, but the second you take the term peaceably out of the First Amendment, this goes from a protest to a riot really quickly. And that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Drew D made a good point as well in the chat. I think he said they do have to stay off federal property, which I believe they were on. So potentially, if they breach that, then that may be why ICE opened fire. Because wasn't it yesterday
that was federal property they were on.
Yeah. So wasn't it yesterday that Gavin Newsom released an edited version of this? Is this the same one? Yeah, that didn't have any of the substance to it at all. Just like, oh, look what ICE are doing. They're terrible.
Yeah, it was all cropped in. It only showed them.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Newsom is a massive, gigantic piece of human excrement. And I'm being very careful. I want you guys to know that I haven't cursed this entire episode. Okay?
He's done well, everyone.
Yeah, I want you guys to be proud of me. I haven't cursed the entire episode. Why? I'm trying to set an example. I found out that some of my teens that I mentor watch our show. And I'm like, I don't want them to curse, so I'm not going to curse. Dude, does that mean you can't curse? No. Do whatever you want. You're an adult.
Yeah. Sorry, kids.
I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're in the chat, curse. I'm saying for myself, I'm deciding that I'm not going. I'm going to attempt to refrain from cursing. That said, oh my God. When I read this, and I'm like, I need to talk about this on the show. Gavin Newsom's insane lesson that he wanted to give to, and I'm going to read it to Donald Trump. I was like, I want to talk about the show, and I thought to myself, I can't talk about this show. Because the moment Gavin Newsom comes up, I'm going to lose my mind. And all my, I'm trying not to curse thing is going to go right out the window immediately.
Yeah. Don't do it, mate. Don't do it. Don't go Dean Winchester. Don't do it.
So I'm being really careful here. Yeah, and I'm going real Demon Dean here, bro. The mark of Cain is it's in me, man. Oh, the rage is just intense. But let me explain something real quick. When that's why I said Gavin Newsom is a gigantic piece of steaming human excrement. Notice I didn't use a single curse word there, and I can still get my point across.
You did very well, mate. You did very well.
Well, what he did was he went on Twitter, and he posted that link. And he went and he said, Gavin, this is corruption at its finest. We've asked for federal funding for the Palisade fires, and they've completely ignored us. They're ignoring California. They don't want to help us. This is corruption and misappropriation of funds. And I lost it. This is the same governor with the same family. And here's the link right here. When the same family that was pretty much installed in the office. I know people go, oh, he was voted for. Because there was no one else running against him. So let's stop with that nonsense. The guy was pretty much installed. Yeah. But what he said was, it's been over 9 months. I'll just let him
said
say
nothing. As the United States and Congress has refused to provide support to those that have been victimized by this arsonist and this devastation. $39 billion for months and months and months. And the President of the United States has said nothing. Speaker of the House said he's not interested in helping the American people that were devastated, lives torn asunder here in Los Angeles. I mean, where is the accountability in that respect? Where's the spirit that defines the best of this country? To be here for fellow Americans in the time of recovery, uncertainty. It's been months, not a peep from the President of the United States.
Okay, I'm going to stop there.
Let
me tell you something, guys. Mate? He doesn't give a flying F-U-C-K about you. Okay?
Yeah.
Be real clear. He wants money from the federal government because this guy lost a bunch of money in aid from the federal government when he decided that illegal aliens, illegal immigrants were more important than the citizens he's talking about. When he took that stand and lost funding for temporary funding for health department crap, then they lost money. When they lost federal funding for the bullet train, by the way, the same high-speed rail they've been working on since 1996, 1,100 total, 1,100 pieces of foundation for a track has been laid. Not a single actual piece of track has been laid since 1996. They've spent almost $33 billion, all federal funds, okay? And they got mad when Trump said, hey, guys, you haven't done anything with this train track. We've given you $33 billion. We're not, and you're asking us for another $50 billion to finish it. You haven't even started, so we're not giving you any money. This is not him caring about American people. This is him trying to get the President of the United States and the Fed to send more money because their actions over the last year has been so anti-citizen that they've lost a ton of federal funds, and they want money. And in that exact Palisade fire, people are being bought out for pennies on the dollar, and that land is being put up, and they're trying to stop this. It's being put up as low-income housing owned by the state. So you want to talk about corruption, dude? Misappropriating funds? This guy is the definition of a glass house right now.
Do you know? When you were saying about the, what is it, the hyperspeed rail, and it, hasn't been completed or hasn't been started, there's only two logical conclusions you can get to that. You're either incompetent or you're corrupt or you're both. Sorry, so it's free. Those are the only conclusions you can make from it. Basically.
Bro, 1996 next year.
It's insane.
Next year, it'll be how long?
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
It's crazy, bro.
Every time I see Newsom on there, and anyone who's seen the series Angel, I picture him working for Wolfram and Hart in that building. Right. He is that perfect kind of demonic character.
Right.
The suit, everything, senior partner.
We just need like little horns on his head like this.
Yeah.
And he's like the demon lawyer. Yeah. 100%, dude.
Yeah. I mean, again, I see. The thing is, I find at the moment is when I talk about my country and I talk about your country, and I see things like Gavin Newsom, and I'm seeing exactly the same things in my country. It's when the same thinking politicians get into power, the same things happen. The corruption builds. It's always for the people, but it's never for the people. It's all about lining their own pockets. And that is a massive problem. And the trouble is, he's going to make a presidential run, and he's going to get financial backing in it. And this is going to be one of the biggest problems, because if there was any other time, and again, I don't live in California, you do.
Right.
But if there's any other time, it should be a case of, oh, you're running for president. Well, let's look at your history about being governor of California. Let's look at the evidence there.
And that's
okay,
a problem,
so you're not
man.
fit to be president.
Right, but
it's
the
not-
media
it's
will
ignored,
never
isn't
show
it?
that. The media will never show the water wars, the corruption of selling water rights to businesses that were friends of his. They won't show you the COVID relief scheme where they funneled like $20 billion away from the government for COVID patients that never happened, that couldn't be verified. They'll never show you the pay for play stuff. They'll never show you that during COVID, when he mandated that all restaurants be shut down, his restaurant was still open and hosting events. They'll never show you about any of this stuff. They won't show you the fact that his lackeys that are running right alongside him are the ones buying, and they're friends of his, are buying up pieces of property for pennies, while he won't even allow people to go clean up their own land. They will not allow people to go into their land and clean it up because it's a hazard. And while they are effectively living in motels, waiting to be able to go clean up their house and go back on their land, they're running out of money. And so what is a lot of them doing? They're selling their land to friends of Gavin Newsom.
Down prices. Yeah.
This is happening. These are not made up conspiracy. This is provable. Facts, statistics, and facts. And you know what will never be brought up in a presidential election? This will never be brought up on any news agency. Not a single person will talk about it. Only people that will talk about it will be YouTubers and alternative media sources. And you know what? Regular people are not paying attention to us. They pay attention to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Well, again, so effectively you've got Trump with his art of the deal and you've got Newsom with art of the grift, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's been doing his whole time, isn't he?
He's a grifter.
Yeah. And again, the people that have the purse strings think that he's going to be a useful idiot for
I want
them.
you guys to know something. I did that all without saying a single curse word.
You did very well, mate. You did.
Let's go.
You know, I was actually going to ask where the real Brian was because there's some sort of shapeshifter on the show today.
Well, it's, just before we go into the alien stuff, let's talk about your neck of the woods. We just talked about California for like 15 minutes. Can we talk about this digital ID? Because like this is going to, let me tell you something. This is going to come for all of us. You think this is specific to the UK? No.
No.
You know what this is? This is staging ground. How effective can we be at convincing the public to buy this bull crap? Oh my God, I want to say a different word. Buy this bull crap. And if they are effective in the UK, it'll then be another portion of the UK. And then somewhere in Germany or whatever. I'm not sure where, wherever and then it'll eventually come here. That's how it works. This is how it works, dude.
It is. I mean, again, but can we just for the rules, we don't say Starmer, we say Weasel Boy. Okay, that's
Weasel
the
Boy.
name.
Weasel Boy.
Yeah, Weasel Boy's at it again. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's listen to what Weasel Boy has to say.
For it. Here in India, I think it's 1 billion people have digital ID. It's been taken up on a voluntary basis in huge numbers. Not least because it means that you can access your own money, make payments so much more easily than is available with others. So I think now we need to go out and make that case of the huge benefits that this will bring. There needs to be a national debate.
What benefits are there other than being able to be tracked, knowing what everything you're purchasing, them knowing everything about your life through your finances and where you are? What benefits to you as a person? Let me tell you something. I don't have a digital ID. I have a credit card though.
Yep.
And I have and on my phone I have a little GPay, Apple Pay thing. Guess what, guys? You don't need a digital ID to utilize all those same benefits. And I can use anonymous services like privacy.com to filter all my stuff. In fact, I do. No one, if you went through my transactions, you wouldn't be able to find out what I was buying because I use a service. You know what you can't use digital ID with? Privacy.com.
Yeah. I mean, when he says about India took up digital ID voluntarily. I watched a video yesterday, and there was an Indian professional there and said, we didn't take it up voluntarily. It was forced upon us. That's what we've got in India. So he's lying about that. And hang on a minute. Wacky. This is a wacky thing. Wasn't it a couple of weeks ago when he announced it was going to be to stop illegal migration? Now, all of a sudden, it's about, you'll be able to use your money if you've got digital ID. So basically, you're saying we're going to cut you off from your own money if you don't go for it. I read something earlier today as well, and they're talking about, and it's that, next year, they're toying with you won't be able to drive unless you've got digital ID. So the control is already underway. The EU are doing it as well. And the staggering thing I'm also reading up about as well, and I'm verifying it at the moment, is they're also saying that they're effectively also going to provide your data to foreign countries. So that's great. So China gets my medical data, do they? So, in a crazy dark world, if China decide, what, we're going to make a virus for people in the UK. We've got all your medical data. And there you go.
But we live in the crazy dark world, you guys. Here's the problem. You don't voluntarily give information and things people can hurt you with to the government. Everyone talks about that. I don't think everyone realizes the world we live in is dark. It's based on what they can squeeze out of you. It is a capitalist system, and I like capitalism because people can advance from a previously poverty-stricken position to wealth via hard work. But here's the flip side of capitalism. Ready? They can literally breed you like cattle, mark you with an ID, sell you and your information to wealthy companies. This is the problem. And this is the problem with social media. People go, using Facebook is free. No, it's not. You're the product. Using Facebook and TikTok and even YouTube isn't free. You're the product. Your information is the product.
Sold.
So why would you voluntarily give your information to the government that you couldn't trust yesterday, today, or tomorrow? All of a sudden they're going to be ambivalent. They're going to be kind. They're going to be for your better interests. That's when have governments ever done anything for the interests of mankind that wasn't forced upon them? I'm
100%.
sorry. Here's the problem with I'll let you get into it. Here's the problem I have with digital ID and them saying it works in India. Listen, if India is your success case, boy, you got problems. Okay?
Yeah.
You went to Mumbai. You're saying that in Mumbai. Mumbai, people make like $1.65 a week. They make no money. They're filthy. They oh my God, I was about to curse. They poop and they pee in rivers the same rivers they bathe in. India is not a successful use case for anything. And I don't want to talk trash on Indian people, okay? I like Indian people. My friends of mine are Indian. But the country is not ran well. It's not governed well. It doesn't have good infrastructure. It's an absolute, atrocious, gigantic Rat King style swath of billions of people clamoring over each other to try to get scraps off the ground. It is not you cannot use India as a success case for anything. And if you don't believe me, look up the ad rates for India versus the ad rates for the United States. This is what I base it on. I can get 5 million views in India and 500 views in the United States would still be worth more. Ad wise. I can get 5,000 views in Brazil and 500 in the United States would still be worth more.
Yeah.
That means that Brazilian viewers are actually more valuable to advertisers, 100 times more valuable than India. And the United States is 10,000 times more valuable than India. When they were doing that PewDiePie versus
and
I'm like, doesn't matter. PewDiePie won 100 million subscribers ago. Because you guys can be going back and forth for subscribers, but the quality of the subscriber And this is not a take on the people, but the quality of the prescriber is just lower because it's mismanaged. The country's been mismanaged for a long time. So if your successful use case for digital ID is a country that no one wants to live in, you got a problem.
Well, you're 100% right, mate. And I'll also say there's been a few videos going around in the last week or so in the UK of people going into restaurants and takeaways, and they're wanting to get themselves, it's an all-in buffet, and they want to go and get themselves a second drink of cola, right? And there's a sign up basically saying, sorry, due to government legislation, we're only allowed to give you one. You're only allowed to have one glass of cola. That's doing the rounds now. So anybody who thinks that a sinister future is not imminent is deluded, because I've said this before. The second they get digital ID off the ground, if they don't like something you've said, something you've done, they can go, right, okay, we're cutting you off from your money, we're cutting you off from this, we're cutting you off from that. And then what they can also do is, it's also things like, say you go and see your doctor. Your doctor says, oh, you've put on about 6 extra pounds, therefore you need to go on a diet. Next thing you know, you can only purchase certain foods that fit your diet that your doctor has given you. That's the future that's coming.
Yeah, it sounds like a conspiracy, but it's not. The more power we give them, the more power they'll keep. The government doesn't give back power. Governments don't give back power. Once you give it to them, you've lost it forever. That's the way it works, dude. I don't make the rules. John doesn't make the rules. This is the way. Demolition Man. Watch Demolition Man. That's pretty much the future.
Exactly. Basically, we are going to the Taco Bell world in the UK, but with a lot more aggressive people in it.
All of a sudden, Taco Bell is like a fine dining establishment. Yeah. How do I use the seashells?
Full well I'm going to go up to that ATM in the UK at some point, and I'll go, I just don't think people like me. And it'll go, you inspire joy feelings and all those around you. Right. That's going to happen with me in the UK. But I talk to people and they say, oh, no, you don't think that's going to happen, do you? I said, it's happening. It's real. With this Labour government, how many times have we seen things happen where they've announced stuff? And I think they're very dangerous because they know they're not going to get in again. So what they're going to do, they're going to go scorched earth all the way through. They're going to put through as many of these extreme policies as they can. And Labour, Weasel Boy is part of the World Economic Forum. The EU are doing the same thing. It's no coincidence that these countries are all doing the same thing. And you're right, it will go across to the US. I mean, you had Ron DeSantis, who's supporting us at the moment and saying, no, this is out of order, because he knows it's a slippery slope and it could turn up in the US at any moment. You just got to look at the COVID era, mate. You got to look at what they did during the COVID era, locking people down, like you in the US, in California, where people were out surfing and they were getting pulled up by the police.
Yeah, I feel like people forget about COVID so quickly.
Yeah.
It's
that
crazy.
Was like a warm up.
It was a test. How far can we push them before they push back? I'm afraid to even say the word COVID. We've been demonetized twice for using that word.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, that government overreach was done, quote unquote, for your safety. It was done, quote unquote, for the safety of others. And now we're finding out that all of that was bullcrap.
Yeah.
And if all of that was bullcrap, why isn't anyone facing charges? Why isn't anyone being called out in legitimate spaces like the news or the Senate or whatever? Why aren't people paying? Like, I'm sorry, my grandmother died in a nursing home. We weren't allowed to visit her. My mother, my biological mother, had to visit her 25 feet away through the glass. She couldn't speak to her, couldn't hug her. And my grandmother died alone. I'm sorry. I cannot forgive this. I cannot forgive the level of corruption that was revealed during COVID. I cannot forgive the insane reaction of the government NPCs, the people that just wore face diapers and yelled at children that were walking openly in the public. I cannot forgive this because no one is facing repercussions. I can't forgive it because no one is facing any kind of retaliatory or even corrective repercussions for being totally, completely wrong for 3 years. I can't believe that not a single person isn't like, oh, why can't we just move on from this? Because you haven't even apologized, you ghoul. I can't. I'm never going to forgive these people.
I agree, and I think,
it's not biblical. I don't care.
No, and I think you're right, and I think the trouble I have with it as well is when you talk about, and there's people in the chat, I'm sorry for your losses, about horrible things that happened for their family members as well. We've talked about this on a previous show, and what I hate as well is if me or you were involved in any of this, we would be held accountable for it. We would do jail time,
right?
That would happen. But the people that administer these strategies, and they get away scot free with it. I mean, we had in the UK, we had the guy that was telling us about, we've got to all stay indoors to stop the curve from flattening, who was carrying on having an affair with his missus in a flat,
Of course.
at the same time. And it's like, rules for thee, but not for me, and that's always the same.
Yeah, let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. That's what it is, bro. It's the same thing. You know what happened last time they did that? Revolution and heads on stakes.
Yeah.
That's why they're pushing us, trying to see how far they can manipulate the situation. And when I say they, I'm talking about like the powers that be, the rules for them and not for thee. Those people. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say. I watched Rogan yesterday, and he was talking about the UK, and he says it is like someone is deliberately trying to destroy the UK. Because everything that they're doing, the illegal migration, digital ID, everything, calling anybody who stands up to it as a far right racist, that's what they're doing. We had, I don't know if you saw it, but we had an ex-Manchester United soccer player last week who decided, after the terrible terrorist attack at a synagogue in Manchester, decided to walk through the town and decided to say, do you know what? The people that are responsible for this are white middle-aged men. It's got nothing to do with the fact that there was a terrorist who had 3 wives, was basically on bail for attempted rape, and actually phoned the police and said that he was a supporter of ISIS. No, that had nothing to do with it whatsoever. And again, but me, if I call that out, I'm a far right racist. It's not.
Yeah.
It's about looking after your community and your people.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
These leftists ignore facts, bro. Facts do not matter. Yeah. It's like you want a weapon to use against a leftist. It used to be you can just provide them with facts, but now they cover their ears and start screaming at you, racist, racist, racist. You cannot have a conversation. I know Shane hates this, but I'm not sure. We're getting to a point where there are people where you cannot find common ground with. They are so far away from you ideologically, logically, behaviorally, that there's no way you can find common ground without you losing morality, without you losing what makes you free. And that's the problem.
I'll always try because that's how I've been brought up by my parents, and again, we're decent people. The trouble is, you're right. The trouble is now you've got very unhinged people. I'm going to say again, that Trump is effectively worked hard on a peace process. For Gaza,
that's right. Nobel Peace Prize. He really wanted the Nobel Peace Prize. They're not giving it to him.
He did. And all credit for him for pushing. And you had your foreign secretary basically said, with Starmer and Weasel Boy and the other people in the West who are basically saying, "Oh no, we've got to recognise the state of Palestine." He said it actively set back the peace process.
Of course it did.
By what you guys were doing. And again, there's no accountability for that. And yet, what I hate, I get cross with, is they then come out after Trump announces it and goes, "Oh, this is going to be. It looks like it's going to happen," and they come out and go, "I'm glad we all managed to get there together and get this resolved." You didn't do jack. You know, the United States went it alone with Israel and pushed that. You didn't do anything. You know, so
I love that all the people that are screaming "Free Palestine" online now have to give that win to someone the orange man bad, President Trump. They hate him so much, but like the same like "Free Palestine," Palestinian flags. They're like, "Oh, Trump did that." Oh,
yeah. and do you know what? Today in London, they're protesting again. So it tells you it was never about Palestine. It's about something else.
Yeah, here's a question.
Destabilization.
Yeah, that's a great question. We got protests. What are you protesting?
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
You got what you wanted, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? You've run out of green hair dye. Is that it? Is that what you need more?
Bro,
is that
when you ask people like, why are these people protesting? Why is it always these leftist causes that seemingly have no real like answers to what they want? Well, it's because, and I'll say it here. I know this is a conspiracy theory, but I think it's fact. Because they're being funded. Because it's dark money funding. Yeah. They're being funded, and the purpose is not to actually free Palestine or whatever. It's to destabilize.
Dissent.
Yes, it's to antagonize. They're agents being paid. You know what's interesting? If you actually take, there's video of people out there talking to some of these protesters. Well, what are you looking for? Well, we're just trying to do what's right. Answer the question. What's your cause?
Exactly.
The amount of people that do not know what their cause is shocking. You ever wonder why it's almost always on the extreme left? It's always on the extreme left. How many far right protests do we see? Not many. January 6th was the closest thing. And you know what? We're finding out 53 people in the January 6th protests were FBI agents managing the whole thing. It's the whole system is broken. It's broken. I don't trust a single thing I see anymore. AI is showing me President Trump eating a photorealistic Pikachu in the White House backyard, and protesters are screaming about generic things that have no actual weight in society, all being funded by dark money. Nothing is real. I don't trust anyone and any politician. Sorry.
No. I mean, I'm the same. I mean, it's like.
I'm sorry, Mark. 253, not 53. 253 FBI agents were at January 6th. That means there were more FBI agents than actual protesters. Oh my God!
That was a strategic coup attempt by the FBI to take down the government. Then
that's insane, bro. God. Anyways, oh jeez,
crazy.
And the crazy part is the big tech companies supported the censorship of all of this. You couldn't talk about January 6th. You couldn't talk about COVID. You couldn't talk about insert here until years later, when no one can be held at fault for lying, for corrupting, for fraud. No one can be held at fault for illegal, disgusting activities designed to manipulate Americans and other people around the world. They can't be held at fault because either they don't exist or so much time has passed that people are no longer angry enough about it. That's when we can finally talk about it. After we've gone so far that the statute of limitations no longer apply. Ah, John, it's so frustrating.
It is dark, man. It's dark stuff. It's like X-Files. I'm living through the X-Files now.
Right.
Crazy.
And then you go to I'm not going to get down this rabbit hole. Then you go Epstein claims. Release the Epstein files. Don't worry. We have all the Epstein files. It's right here on my desk. We're going through them. We're going to release them a week later. I know we were going to release them. We're still going through them. I just got a whole another truck of Epstein files. A week later, and this is not hyperbole. Clear. Guys, we just found a treasure trove in New York of Epstein files. We're going to release them soon. Then Cash and Dan Bongino. Yes, we're going through them. It's shocking stuff. And then ready? Fast forward 2 weeks. There's no Epstein files.
Yeah, as you're seeing the laser sight on their chest.
Right.
You know,
there actually is no Epstein files. He did not commit suicide, and the way they do it, like they're like super blusterous in themselves, like when they're talking about before. Oh yeah, man, we're gonna find these guys, and when they're on there talking about after, they're very reserved, and looking around, and then Pam Bondi comes out. I'm like, yeah, so there's no Epstein files. What? Can someone just go back and play her previous clips, please? This is insane. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. This wasn't years ago, bro. It was 3 weeks ago. You said you had trucks of Epstein files. I don't get it.
It even got confirmed yesterday in the UK that our ex-Prime Minister, or otherwise I like to call him Lucifer, Tony Blair, was actually met with Epstein at number 10 Downing Street.
Right.
So, you know, they must think we're all so stupid that no, there's nothing to see here, nothing to see whatsoever. Just probably a load of the most wealthiest and important people on the planet
doing the worst, most disgusting things. Right? Yeah, on a mysterious island that was only ever used for. I can't say the words. But you know,
it's not
bad things.
It's not like they were going there to find Fraggle Rock. They were going there to do flipping devious stuff.
Right? Yeah, what I mean? Yeah. They weren't going there and like, I really want to slip a coconut on the beach. No. They were going to the private island named on the Lolita Express. They were going on a plane called the Lolita Express. You know what Lolita means?
Yeah.
Underage woman. I'm being real careful.
I mean,
Jesus, we're going on the Lolita Express to Epstein's private island.
I know in history there's been corrupt moments, but I have to say,
God,
and this is me growing up as a kid, and I was told about Mark of the Beast, and in the Bible, if you don't have the mark, you can't be part of the civilization, all of that. And I thought, okay, I wonder how that, interesting.
So a lot of that, by the way,
I'd see it.
By the way, a lot of that's not biblical. So as someone who I read the Bible, I teach the Bible. Yeah, a lot of the end time stuff is actually not biblical. It came from a series of books from like the 70s and 80s that then were propagated with more books, and they borrowed stuff out of those books to sort of fill in spaces. I'm not saying Revelations is not true. I'm not saying the prophecies won't happen, right? But a lot of the facts that evangelistic Christians, non-denominational Baptists, etc., get their information from is actually not biblical. And one of those things is highly contested. Is like the mark in like being forced to take it. There's a lot of highly contested things about the Bible, but Left Behind was a really popular series that sort of filled in blank spaces, and a lot of Christians, especially like the Hellfire and Brimstone Christians from like the Azusa Street Revival days, late 70s, they really borrowed a lot from that book because it was so good, and it's not all biblical. I suggest people read their Bible about that.
So what you're saying then is the fact that the politicians around the world have actually read that section as well, and they're implementing.
Yeah, they're implementing. Yeah, they're like, you know what? This Left Behind book has a really cool idea about how to control people, and yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna pretend like I know, but I do know that I don't want to be tracked by the government, regardless of my Christian upbringing or my beliefs. Whether you want to, even if you're an atheist, you shouldn't want the government or anyone to have control over you. Anyone.
The trouble you've got now, and it's like these free plasticine supporters, that they are the ones that will literally go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and it's literally the turkeys coming in to be slaughtered. It's that mentality, because they'll go, no, I agree with that. Total control, that's the way to go. We'll all be happier until it's too late. and you can't do anything about it.
Right, and that's the problem. Like once you give them that power, it's too late.
It's done.
Yeah, you've already lost. You cannot take it back. That's just the name of the game.
Well, I think the difference with the US to the UK is the fact that, you know, you still have your firearms.
Yeah.
So if they step too far, that everybody in their neighborhood's got a firearm.
Yeah, the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment for sure. Yeah. And Mark 47 said, "BRANE Show, the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is wild." By the way, that's another thing about the Bible. Like there were actually books like left out that were up for well, we might include this or not. And the Roman Catholic Church sort of decided what was going to go in the Bible. So I am a Christian. I have Christian beliefs, but I also know that man is corrupt, and not everything that has been done or said by spiritual people were spiritual or godly. And I think that being a skeptic is very important, whether you're an atheist, a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim. I don't care what you are. Skepticism is important to holding on to your free rights, your God-given rights as a human being. You must be skeptical, and being skeptical of any government that through thousands of years of governments have always proven to be ultimately not for the people. The American experiment has gone on for a long time successfully because it was started under the premise of we the people. But we are slowly moving farther and farther away from the Constitution that starts with we the people. And the farther we get away from that, the more it becomes we the people for the people to we the 0.1% are going to utilize the other 99.5%. And that's when you start to get Roman Empire, Ottoman Empire, German Empire, Russia. You start to see the history to repeat itself because corruption will always corrupt. And humans are it's impossible for all humans to be good. Unfortunately, like this is why I'm in favor of an AI overlord that just rules on facts. Because the problem with, communism and socialism is a really cool idea until you add the human equation and human greed into it. Then it becomes corrupt and horrible and someone suffers. So here we go. Give us the alien AI overlords, please.
Yeah, mate, I've said before, I am prepared now. I've made my peace of it. I am quite happy to be the dog for the alien that they just tickle my belly every now and again in my house. That's it. And I'm quite comfortable to do that, just feed me twice a day. I'll keep out of your way. You rule the world. You rule the universe. Just leave me to do my thing. That's it.
Hey, it's Euron said to put my link in chat. And you write my book link to my book, guys. That's my book. You should go check it out. It's about. It's called The First Spark: Creation, Collapse, and What Comes After. Thank you. It's in my opinion, a pretty epic science fiction story, or maybe it's prophecy. I don't know.
I'm quite how can I put it? I'm quite critical about sci-fi books I read, but I am enjoying it. And it really gives me a lot of pain to give him, a lot of credit. It hurts, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
The thing is this, it was inspired by The Last Question and one of my favorite all-time short stories from the 70s. And I just went as far as I could with it, and I plan to write a follow-up book. And I don't want to spoil it, but basically, this one was pretty much technology versus not technology. Technology versus artificial intelligence versus humanity. My next book is going to use the same cycle, but it'll be religion versus lack of religion, essentially. And I want to I want to show the beginning and end results of those two options from my perspective. You guys should check it out. Okay. Also, it's free if you have Amazon Prime or Kindle, whatever. So,
can I also say to everyone in the chat, if you could sort of like, share and subscribe us, because we love doing these shows and we love having you in the chat every week, and we just want to keep it going and get more people enjoying it as well. So if you could, if you haven't already, that would be brilliant. So it's always fun having you in the chat, so let's see if we can add some more to it who enjoy it as much as we do.
Yep. Hey, so Super Chat's here. Funny and Dark says it's going to take 2 weeks to make a Portal episode. You better get on top of it then, bro. Because that's what we want to see. Okay.
As long as it's not a 2-year wait for a series.
Yeah, we'll premiere it here. We'll watch the whole episode.
Yeah.
Kevin said free if you pay. No. I'm saying if you already have Prime or Kindle Unlimited, you don't have to buy my book.
Part of your subscription.
It's part of your subscription. You can just click on it. In fact, I don't even think I get money for that, but I think it's good marketing, so it doesn't matter. So you don't have to buy it. I think if you have Prime, you can just get it. Or don't. I don't really care. But Euron Falls said the left don't give an SHIT about anyone. So you almost got me with that, bro. You almost got me to curse. That's real clever, Euron. Left don't give about anyone. They want power. This is true everywhere. Yes. Power corrupts absolutely. That's just the name of the game. You can read 100 books by 100 authors that range from very right wing to very left wing, and they will all tell you the same thing. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Period. The end.
I think I've said this before as well, and in the West, UK and the US in particular, I think there needs to be certainly some more oversight on the people teaching kids, without a doubt, because I've never known a time where so many kids are growing up and the excuse is always, oh, it's social media doing it. But no, I think it's the people in these schools that are shaping minds for the future, which concerns me immensely.
Yeah, I keep telling people to do this. Where's my book? There's a book. It's called Soviet Total War. Okay, I have it here. I'll show you a copy of it. I'm not keep telling you guys to buy books. But there's a book. It's called Soviet Total War. Let me show you an image of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, there was a teacher in the UK within the last couple of weeks who was saying, the curriculum has been completely changed from, like when I grew up, where you learned about the proud history of the United Kingdom. They've taken elements out of it now, and it's more along the diversity, equity, and inclusion front, and we're all in it together kind of thing. But you cannot erase history and what we did.
Can't.
So but then the left, I was going to say the left, they say, mate, they say, this is one of the things I always chuckle at. They go, oh, United Kingdom's a racist country. We want reparations. But then in the same token, they say, but we helped build the United Kingdom. Well, doesn't that mean you're racist then? Your argument is completely flawed. Right. It's crazy.
So this book is from 1956. Guys, it doesn't even have a cover. It's just all paper. It's wild. I actually bought this from an eBay seller. I'm not sure you can buy it from a bookstore. And it's from 1956, and it basically lays out the entire Marxist plan in 1956, I might add, for how they're going to take over the West. And what's really fascinating about this is they pretty much admit that the West is unbeatable via traditional warcraft. So the way the communism is going to take over the West is via attrition, by installing people into higher learning facilities, universities, colleges, high schools, eventually elementary schools, and training generation after generation their ideology until the swing is so high, until the percentage is so high, they can start voting in politicians that have the same ideology. They don't have to take over with guns and soldiers and boats and planes. They can just slowly change the culture into what they want. And that's how you take over the West.
Well, the evidence certainly seems to suggest, certainly in my area, that that's happening.
We got a super chat from the Cheo dude. Voting for Newsom was like wearing a face diaper in 2025. it's an unalived horse, but NPCs aren't tired of it. They fully deserve Biden's second term. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. Yoron for 50 SEK says, we have bank ID in Sweden to pay bills and to identify ourselves with companies, but it's not currently, in parentheses, in quotations, a government thing. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right, we got one more topic. We're going to start here and then finish in the members section. We need to talk about the fleet of UFOs discovered and a little conspiracy theory that that they call Project Blue Beam. Because while everyone's freaking out over this and this like radio wave transmission that they're discovering, I'm actually starting to think that it's not radio waves. It's not even real. I think it's just a setup for Project Blue Beam. And we're going to get into it right now, and we'll finish this in the member section. If you're not a member, hit the join button on the bottom left. But here's basically the premise. Bunch of people, and this was shared, by the way, by Matt McGee. Thank you, Matt. In 10/8, so this was a few days ago, a couple days ago, people are like scanning radio waves, right? And scanning space with radio waves. And let me just play some of the video, and then I'll explain what I think this is, what's actually happening.
What you're seeing here now is, from what I can guess, because I'm no expert, right? This is obviously the space. Now, these are potentially either like asteroids, meteors, space debris, space junk, things like that pop up, okay? And they are echoes. If you see it in a long line, it's an echo of it, right? Almost like a radar. So down here is the sound waves. So when you're listening to space and listening to the area, when something happens, sometimes you see these peaks come up right here, okay? And this is, you actually hear it. Let me turn the sound on.
Waveform.
This is what it sounds like. And up here, I think that is just a visual representation of what we're seeing here. Because when you see an anomaly come down, you see a spike come up here.
It's a waveform. Okay? One is active and one is archived.
This is sort of some sort of like...
All right, move on, bro. Come on.
He is going over to TikTok, to Desert Rider.
Okay.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona Desert Rider 26. And there's something about this that makes me feel like I...
All right.
This is what he did.
So explain the premise. So, by the way, anyone can look at these waves.
Yeah.
He has basically claimed, but in fact, just listen to it, right? Listen to this. This is his recent, and I'm going to go back and forth on his channel.
We're reacting to him, reacting to someone else.
I think
it's like an inception of YouTube.
Someone will do it to us later.
You're right.
Listen to this part first. This is where he's showing a little bit of frustration because he feels...
Okay, man, come on.
They shut me down for 7 days. So, yeah, I can't live stream. I got to start a new account. I'm going to go start AZ Desert Rider 27. Please go follow. Get it up to 1,000 followers so I can go live again, or 1,000 likes. I will start posting videos. They are going to shadow ban it. They are going to make it hard for you to find this account. This is the only way I can keep the live stream going for the next 7 days.
Can I tell you something now? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the only way. You can go to Rumble, YouTube, Odyssey. You don't have to be on that platform. He could have pushed people to an actual free platform like Rumble, where they would never shut him down. But he makes money on TikTok, so. And I get that.
Yeah.
I'm a YouTuber, I understand.
Till they unblock the account, because they're not going to unblock it. They already didn't overturn the appeal. They're going to keep me silenced for 7 days. This is because I tell the truth.
Right, so with this thing still going off...
I get his frustration, But he could have he could have pushed people to a Rumble page. When we got demonetized, we did that.
He's basically saying,
although we came right back.
Right,
we came crawling back to YouTube the second we got remonetized. Because Rumble, there's like no reach on Rumble, you know. But at least people can see you.
Listen to this. This recording, by the way,
Here we go.
that you're seeing is an hour and a half. And I stopped it because I was like, I ain't recording any more than an hour and a half of this. All right? Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Part 1.
Like I said, you'd see the interference, and then a big one would come in, and here it comes. I said it before I got off my live stream on YouTube. I called it, and here it comes in. I told you this. I told you. Guys, this is not Mother Nature. This is something else. This is not making any noise.
That's a good point. It's not echoing.
Yeah.
Because that's interesting what he said there. He says this is not making any noise. Because what I've seen so far, when sometimes you see like a circular dot, maybe about that big, and it's this color. That would be like a meteor, which he later on he shows you in a different video. I'll probably find for you. But when you see that, it just goes wow, or whatever the sound is, right? It just goes wow, or something. It makes some weird sound. This is not making a single thing.
It goes
wow.
Natural sort of
It's like shafts coming
sound.
back to Earth.
It's just literally, well, what it is, ambient sound. But it gets more interesting. I know that you've got a bunch of questions. But also, these are not necessarily just stars. Sometimes you get like a flux of like heavy white dots and stuff. That can also be, it's like almost like wind of some sort, interference. It's not necessarily just stars.
There's a second to come out of this really cool. I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
This is normal operation.
You what?
Where is it? Oh, right here. Right. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Looks like.
So this is a ship, okay? And the reason
this guy's
it's like that.
This guy goes, yeah, this is a ship, okay?
Yeah.
He just said he doesn't like theorize. He goes, listen, this is a ship, all right? I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
It's funny. He reminds me of that guy in the movie that no one listens to until it's too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one guy in the desert somewhere with the specialized equipment. He's like, listen, they're coming. They're coming.
It's like the beginning of Independence Day, where it suddenly starts. You know, the speakers start going, and the printouts start happening. You're like, oh shit.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, there's only one way for sure to know. If I wake up on the day and there's two aliens stood above my bed with anal probes in their hands, I know I'm in for a bad day.
or you can see it the way I see it. It's going to be a good day. All right. That's
now let me try.
I said tickle my belly.
I would like to order the alien anal probe, please. There we go.
What he thinks a spaceship looks like.
So this is a ship. Okay?
This is the ship.
The reason I'm saying this is a ship, listen to me very closely. When this thing throws out a radio signal, it's looking to get an echo from that radio signal. Okay? In order for an echo to return, there has to be structure there. Okay? There has to be structure there to get an image so that it can give you this image to begin with. If it wasn't the case, then you wouldn't have a scale here to see your density. You get it? So, this is a ship, okay? This left one is yellow. This one
guy's like Bobby
yellow.
from
They're
Supernatural.
Probably cooling down. They shut them off, and this is probably the center of the ship where they are. So there's going to be a heat signature there. People, you don't understand. Like, there's no way that meteors should be doing this. They shouldn't be making this structure if there's no.
So there's an even more important part where the sound is actually super echoey. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, didn't he do it for like 9 years ago as well?
Yeah,
something like that.
Oh, here we go, right here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh. Lord help us.
Lord help us.
Get the shotgun.
Again, listen
Daisy.
to the sound. Right? And this is slightly different. This is not so much symmetrical things.
Okay, so we're going to finish this in the members section because we're getting in there. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about actually something called Project Bluebeam. And I went down this rabbit hole, and apparently so did Rose on Bar. And it's a very interesting idea, and I think it might connect. So let's say you believe in aliens, and you're like really looking forward to the fact that, you know, apparently 27 days or 57 days or whatever they say, we're about to get a visit from an alien ship somewhere. Or last month we've been talking about aliens crash landing and Senate hearings and asteroids that are probably just an alien and all this stuff. And what I'm telling you is this might just be a setup. Because if you look at the Project Bluebeam conspiracy theory, it literally says it's going to have a couple years of them acknowledging aliens before they reveal the grift. And the grift is going to be designed to mess with people. And we're in this weird place right now where everyone knows AI can pretty much make whatever. So they're going to have to create something that is physical that everyone can see with their eyes that's not digital. And that's where Project Bluebeam comes into play. And we're going to talk about that in the member section. Do me a favor, my friends, because we're on the way out. Like this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Comment on the archive if you're watching this later on. And if you're not a member, you want to become a member, hit the join button bottom left. It's a great time. We're going to spend the next hour just nerding out on alien stuff and talking to you guys in the chat. And I would love for you guys to join us. But if you can't join us, that's cool. You know where you can find us next is tomorrow on John's channel, which is also in the description, where we are going to be watching 2 episodes of one of the greatest TV shows of all time, Stargate SG-1, while eating delicious smoked meats.
We are indeed. And I'm going to say, it could be a documentary tomorrow based on this. So you better tune in and check it out.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need an alpha site.
Yeah, we're going to need an alpha site. But yeah, please join us, guys, in the member section. We're going to be going there now. And if you can't, that's cool. We'll see you tomorrow. If you can't do that, it's cool. We'll see you next week. Whatever you guys want to do. And if you're watching this in archive, do me a favor and comment. Apparently comments are very important on YouTube. And we're just trying to get the subscriber count to a positive number. It's been negative for like 6 months. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. We're going to the members section.
Thank you all.
Love
see
you guys.
You in the members section.
We'll see you there, boys and girls, and theys and thems, and aliens and green people, and Orions and Vulcans and Klingons and Grogus and whatever.
See you there.